Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Lisa and this is Cross by Floss, where I talk about my love of cross stitch as well as some life blabbings. So today is the last day in August, the last Sunday in August, and I can't believe I don't know where time is going. It's just going by so fast. Today you get myself and Mr. Odin, who is currently snoring over here, so you'll probably hear him like you hear him on almost every video. He is dreaming of chasing something because his legs are just going. And funny enough, his dad is here, but he is still sticking as close as he possibly can to me. And speaking of his dad, he's moving back home. I'm really excited about that because I miss my baby. Yeah. But the crawfish used to be his room. And of course, you know, I changed it into my crawfish. So we have a room in the garage that was built kind of as an office / bedroom, and that's what we're going to make the garage a little bit more of a hangout, you know, for him. And then he's got the bedroom, it's got a big window in there, so you know, if anything happens, he can still escape. The only thing it does not have is a closet, but that's totally okay because there's lots of storage out there. So but I'm happy to have my baby back home. So we'll be moving him back home at the end of September. So that's going to be fun. But we are breaking his lease, and it is what it is. He misses home, he misses his family, and he wants to go back to school here. So yeah. So I'm happy. I'm good with it. I get another person back home, which also means Mr. G is like, well, okay, that means that somebody's home to look after the dogs now, right? And can also get the grandbaby from school. And so he is like, that means you can go on the truck with me, right? I'm like, yeah, that's what it means. All right. What else has happened? My dishwasher broke. And poor Odin, I've been kind of blaming him for the last couple of weeks. We don't run our dishwasher very often anymore. I used to run it two times a day with 6 people in this house and all the dishes and the, you know, food and everything. I used to run it 2 times a day. And that's not even including pots. I would wash the pots and all the wooden spoons and that kind of thing. But yeah. We're down to maybe once every 3-4 days, my son and I, and unless, you know, the family comes over, and so yeah, so it hasn't been running very often, and so I've been kind of blaming Odin when it's been on, and I've noticed these little puddles of water, and they've not been a lot, like, you know, like an ice cube that is melted on the floor, right? Which is actually what I thought it was at first, and then I'm like, that's really weird that an ice cube made it all the way over to this over here, but I mean, it happens. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe it's Odin because, you know, he's got big jowls and everything hides in there. And when he gets excited and he thinks something is happening during feeding or water time, it all comes out when he starts barking. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe that happened, right? Like he's drooling and dripping it on the floor. And then one day I had started the dishwasher and I noticed I walked away, and then when I came back, like maybe a half hour later, I noticed that there was this line of water, and it wasn't coming exactly from the dishwasher. It was coming from the corner of the floor mat. And anyways, and it was going from there towards my stove. And it was a long line. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, did Odin have an accident? Because, I mean, you know, he was getting old. And I'm like, oh my goodness, right? And in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, if he's been having accidents like this, you know, oh man, we're gonna, you know, because he's a big dog. There's a lot of liquid going in and out of that dog. And so I'm like, ooh. And then I realized, no, it's actually the dishwasher. So talked to Mr. G, who is real excited about, you know, coming home to fix yet another appliance. That's what he used to do in his other life. When I first met him, he was an appliance tech repair. And then he switched to trucking when he turned 50. He decided he wanted to be a trucker, and so that's what he's doing now. But for, you know, from the time he was 18, 19, he's been working on appliances, and so he knows, you know, practically everything about them. And so he's already like, we're just gonna buy a new one. And I'm like, no, it could just be like a faulty, you know, hose or something, like, I don't know, like, but yeah, he's always quick to, let's just buy a new one. And I'm like, no. So yeah. What else has happened? Football season started. Super excited about football season. So the Seahawks, which is my team, Seattle Seahawks, they have had their 3 pregame season already. And it's really nice to see, because the pregame season, which I believe they did this last year as well, they don't play their veterans. They play all the new kids, you know, new prospective teammates. And, you know, see what they can do in a game setting. And a lot of them are, you know, just new from college or, yeah. So anyways, it's really cool to see. We did lose the first 2 games. We won last night. So, but like, it was a shutout. Is that what we call it in football? I always get my football, soccer, baseball, and, yeah, mixed up. Yeah, I think it's a shutout. I don't remember. Anyways, 27-0. It was a good game. It was a good game. And it's really exciting to see these new kids, especially seeing as, you know, I've watched a lot of them from college, and to see what they can do. And I have got a lot of favorites, honestly. There's a lot of standouts in this team, and I'm excited to see what our Seahawks are going to look like this year. We've got a very good, I mean, they do have to cut 27 people from the roster, because they have to get down to a 53-man roster, and currently they're at 80. And so I don't envy John in any way, shape, or form trying to get that roster down, John and Pete. But I'm hoping that, you know, that with a very new, young, hungry team this year, along with a few veterans, I think that we're going to have a good team. I think it's going to be something to watch. So I'm excited for that. Then college football has started as well. So yesterday, Nebraska and, was it Illinois? I think Indiana. I don't remember. I think it was Illinois. And they had a game yesterday. Nebraska did not win. Nebraska is one of my favorite teams. And but it was good to see college ball playing again. So that I love. Okay, in my last video, I was talking about my kids' birth dates, and like I'm in reference to some prairie schooler Santas, and thinking that maybe I would get their years. Okay, you guys. Okay, 1, I've lied about my age so often that, you know, sometimes I have to do mental math to remember what my kids' birthdays are. I got 2 out of 5 right. And by, really, I have 4 children, but the grandbaby is also mine, so 5. And I got 2 out of 5 right. So they're really 1991, 92, and 93, 99, and 2011. How in the world I got that all mixed up, I don't know, but that's right now. I just had to clear that up. There's probably some other errors that I made in my video. I do all the time. I can't remember stuff. It's horrible. So yeah. What else has happened? Mr. G is coming home again. His truck is again, his trailer, the trailer is having some problems keeping temperatures, and so they wanted to come back home, but he was planning on staying out for a good 3 weeks, a month, and just doing a bunch of, you know, day trips back and forth between 2 states, and you know, doing that out there for a while, but no, he's coming back home. So I think he actually is going to be home for the long weekend, which is coming up. So that'll actually be really nice. And then of course my grandbaby starts school. We got her into an awesome school. And she's not going to the home school. We were able to get her into a choice school that we wanted. And I think she's going to have a spectacular year. She is super excited. And yeah, so, and I bought her a ton of masks. Like, I have been on Amazon and I have been buying all kinds of different types of masks to see, you know, because we want her to be able to have a bunch of masks in her backpack in case anything happens, as well as, you know, the disposable ones. You shouldn't be wearing them more than, you know, the day, really, that, you know, yeah, that they're disposable for a reason. But, so we're being very, very cautious because, you know, she's under 12 and, they have not given the green light for vaccinations for kids under 12 yet. And, so, and even when she is vaccinated, we probably will still continue wearing masks just because, wow, have Washington State's numbers just risen tremendously. So, so yeah, so there's that. And then, what else did happen? I did have a question on my last video concerning mirrors. And one of my viewers asked if I do 2/1 or 1/1 on my mirrors. And because I work on 16 for the most of my charts, I work on 16 count Aida. With the exception of Archangel, he is on 18 count Aida. I still do 2/1. I use the loop method, and I like the look of 2, even on 18 count. Now, when I do a 20 count or a 22 count, I do 1/, because it's just too bulky to do 2. But I really like the loop method, which I learned because of Flosstube. Yeah, because back in the day when I was stitching, I would pull out 2 strands of floss, and I would, you know, hide my ends in the stitches in the back, and so that's what I did back in the day. So because of Flosstube, I learned the loop method, and it is so great. I love it. I love it. So that is what I do on my mirrors, and I use the 16 count. I think all of the charts are recommended 16 count Aida or 32 count linen. And I believe that that's mostly to accommodate the beads. So if you're not using beads and you're using, you know, petite treasure braid or Krynic, you could go up in fabric number to whatever size you want. But I do use 16 count, and so yes, 2/1 is what I do using the loop method. So, all right, so today I have I'm gonna talk about a stitchy meetup we had, plans. I have finishes. Who am I? I'm gonna talk about, well, how about we just get into the cross stitch? Yeah, okay. So let's do, I'm going to go out of order, and I'm going to do my whips first. Okay, so during a stitchy meetup we had, I was invited to a stitchy meetup, so I took the day off, and one of the ladies in the Pacific Northwest group that I had joined a couple of years ago at the library, she has a cabin out on the water, which is, oh my gosh, like the view is gorgeous. And when I say cabin, I really mean it's a house. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And beautiful piece of property. It was just lovely. And so there were a bunch of other stitchers. Lynn, who is Lady Robin Lady Robin's friend, Lynn, she does not have a Flosstube, but she has an Instagram, and she was there, which is nice to see, Lynn. And of course, Lady Robin of Lady Robin's on Flosstube and Instagram. Heather Punky Pearls was also there. Becca Sambry Stitches. And then, of course, our hostess, Sheila, who also does not have a Flosstube, but she is all crossed up on Instagram. And then there was a couple of new to me stitchers there. There was Chris, I think her name is Chris Cross Stitch. She does not have a Flosstube, but I believe that that's what her name is on Instagram. Loved her. It's so nice to meet new stitchers. And then Megan from Frozen Crafter, who used to live in Alaska. So yeah, it was a fun day. It was beautiful, and we had good food and good laughs, and it was just fun. So the piece that I took, because you know, I have a hard time stitching and talking. I have a hard time stitching, period. But I picked a piece that I knew that I could just do a lot of fill-in work. And that was, and this is a piece you haven't seen for a while. I pulled out the Prairie Schooler, and this one is called Night Flight. And I actually got some stuff done. So I finished up. Oh, okay, this is what I did while I was at the stitching meetup. I did this. I finished this little corner here and this, and then I came home and I put in this. So that is what's gotten done so far on this. This is just a 18 count Ada. I don't know what Ada it is. I want to say that I probably did this myself. It's coffee tea dyed. Maybe it's even a 16 count. I don't know. I'll have to go back and see if I have notes. This was before I was, you know, doing my current style of keeping track. The other piece that I pulled out was my Whitgo piece, and this is what I'm stitching on, and it is Mary Cottam, age 9, and this is a La-di-da piece, and I believe that this is a retired piece out of print, and as I haven't seen it anywhere, and I did buy this on Stash Unload, the Stash Unload group. And so anyways, this was my Whipgo piece that I needed to pull out. I've had some massive Whipgo fails, and so I am evaluating what I'm going to do for 2022. I can't believe we're almost there. But I have two, my Whipgo goals are I'm doing samplers and sals, and of the two numbers that get pulled every month, so far it has actually been a sampler and a sal, but I have not been meeting my goals, or I'm only getting one out and doing that. It's just been really hard. So anyways, next year I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm evaluating what my goals are. And the great thing is Whipgo, you can make it whatever you want. Anyways, this is what I got done. Oh, the reason why I was talking about that is because my goals are 10 hours on each Whipgo piece. And so I got a lot done. I did work on it while I was watching football yesterday. And so the last time you saw it, I had this in, and I started the alphabet, and I had put in, I don't remember what else I had put in. I think I had maybe put in a couple more of the flowers motifs in here. So I finished all of the red parts in the flower motifs, and then I continued on with this line here, and I did a little bit Oh, I got a little bit of this is Schneckly into the piece. So that is what I've gotten done on Margaret. Who are you? Margaret Cottam, age 9. So, and I love this piece. And this is done on a piece of 18 count honey, Ada by Be Stitch Me. And y'all know how I feel about some Be Stitch Me fabrics. I love them. Absolutely love them. Okay, and then I have a hashtag on Instagram called Mira Monday Stitching. And each Monday I pull out a Mira. Let's do the first one. And so in the last 2 weeks since we've been together, I've worked on 2 new Miras. The first Monday I worked on Millennium Angel by Mirabilia. I'm working from the bottom up on this piece, and sorry, preparation is not really my thing. And that is what I've gotten done. I worked a lot in the white. I did a ton of white. And I love how it's showing up on this fabric. It's pretty. I have noticed that in order for my white stitches to look good, I've been railroading them, and that has helped a lot, but it also has slowed down the stitching part for me because yeah, well, I'm not a fast stitcher to begin with anyways, but then if I have to slow down to actually like put my needle through the thread to separate the 2 strands in order to railroad it, that's slowed me down also. Plus, okay, I have been binge watching Netflix shows. And one of the shows that I've been binge watching is Grace and Frankie. Hilarious. Like, if you guys have never seen it, it's Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda, Martin Sheen, and oh, what is his name? He used to be on Law and Order, the lawyer from Law and Order, and he was, you know, the really stiff, what is his name? Anywho, they're hilarious. And I mean, there's a lot of inappropriate language. I mean, not for me. I find it hilarious. And actually, when I am in a group of people that I know very well, my language is not, it's not what I use on Flosstube. But so I find it hilarious. But if you're offended by coarse language, then probably not the show for you. But to hear the F-bombs come out of the 4 of them is just like, at first I was shocked when Jane Fonda, you know, let loose this string of F-bombs, and I was like, ooh, because, you know, we all remember her from, yeah, the 80s. And anyway, it's a really good show. Anyways, I have been binge watching that while I have been stitching. And so the second Mira that I did is Shimmering Mermaid. She is beautiful. I love her. By Mirabilia. And I'm also working her from the bottom. And I'm trying to think of what oh yeah, I know what I did. I have gotten all of this in. It was really nice to do a big block of color, and not, I mean, I still had to count because these spaces in here, that's where the beads are going. And so I had to just make sure that I had that right. But I mean, it was just so nice to be able to do a nice big block of color on a Monday evening, which that's what I appreciate a lot about these Mirabilias, is that there is large blocks of color. And especially on a Monday evening, because, you know, I'm tired after work, and, you know, Mondays are always a stressful day getting things caught up from either the week before or, you know, things happening on Mondays. And so it's just a nice way to stitch Monday evenings with something that is calming and big blocks of color, and yeah. So that's what I did for my stitching for the last 2 weeks, and but I do have a couple others. So if you are interested in joining me in the hashtag Mirror Monday stitching, please do. Right now we're working on mirrors. I actually, in November, I'm going to do hashtag Nora C November. And I think that that's what the hashtag is. I think so. And so for the month of November, just working on Nora Corbett's. I have a large amount of Noras along with Mira's. So just going to switch it up in November. So Nora November. And so if you're interested in joining me for that, I hope you do. I'm not going to stop doing Mirror Mondays though. We're going to continue with Mirror Mondays, but Nora November, just join in whatever Noras you're working on in the month of November. And I'll have a couple for that as well. I have a finish. I actually have 2 finishes. Pretty excited about these. So my first finish is this Basket of Memories by Blackbird Design, and I finally got this done. I started it, when did I start it? In July, maybe, beginning of July, I don't remember, goodness sakes. Anyways, it is done. So that's what I did. This is done on a 20 count Aida that I just very lightly tea dyed, and I did this in remembrance of my grandpa. Now you'll notice on the pattern here, it has a heart that goes over the me, and this is, I know, the weirdest thing ever. I'm not a huge lover of hearts, and I didn't love it on here. And so what I did was I took this flower here, and I just kind of, I added it in here. It took me a lot of tries to figure out. I don't know that I love it specifically yet, but if you didn't know, you would probably think that that was part of it. I like it better than the heart. And so anyways, I'm going to give a try to a pillow fold. Not a pillow fold, a pillow finish on this one. So but because it is a finish, if you are interested in this chart, I am going to give this chart away. So Basket of Memories by Blackbird Designs. And so if you are interested in this, how about we just say basket? B-A-S-K-E-T. Basket. Okay, that was finish number 1. Then, got a lot of stuff here. Then, finish number 2 is one you guys have seen a lot recently. It has been my focus piece until I got it done, and it is this Ink Circles Reflections of Canada. So got it finished. I'm so happy to have this done. I did have a viewer who I had said that I was almost finished on this piece, and so she had messaged back and said, oh, don't forget, you know, that there's a couple of motifs around the beavers and stuff. I was like, oh yes. I was saving them to last because, you know, I didn't need a whole piece of a whole length of thread for those, and so I was always waiting till I had like a bunch that was left over from whatever section I was working in, or that I would have to cut length in half. And so anyways, look at that, it is done. And so no matter which way you put it, you know, it's the same. So, but yeah, I think I have it this way, but it's finished. So this was done on, either 16 or 18, I think an 18 count Ada, that I just, you know, probably bought at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and used Weeks Dye Works Turkish Red. And so I had like a little bit of the corner to finish up, and then I had a couple of motifs, so I had to finish up all of the moose heads and these little motifs in here as well. And so I just had to go in and just, you know, finish up whatever. And so I looked over this piece really, really carefully to make sure that I caught everything, and I did. And so it's done. I am so happy. So now I just need to iron it carefully, and I think I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know I want to frame it, but I would really like to maybe get a mat that has the maple leaf cut out of it. So I don't know. But anyways, if you, seeing as I've also finished this one, if you are interested in Reflections of Canada, I will be giving this pattern away as well. So let's just say Canada. So Canada, Canada. If you're interested in that. And then in my next Flosstube 2-week video, in 2 weeks when I do my update video, I will do the random drawing for those 2 charts, Basket of Memories, say basket, Reflections of Canada, say Canada. You can enter in both if you would like. Only rules are please be 18. Please don't say giveaway. And I'll mail them anywhere. It's totally fine. And I would love it if you would be a subscriber. So yeah, so that's what I got done. All right, let's do some stitchy kindness. One of the things when we went to our stitchy meetup with Sheila, she gave us all little thank you gifts, and in the little thank you gift it was anchor thread. Now if you've been with me for any length of time, you know that I love anchor black over DMC black. I feel it has better coverage, and I actually think that the black is a nicer color of black. And so Michael's and Joann's are now selling anchor spools in their needlework area, and so Sheila had given those along with some other cool little things in a bag. So that was so sweet. Not only did we get a beautiful view and get to have a fun stitchy meetup, but she also gave us gifts. I mean, how great are our stitchy friends, right? And speaking of stitchy friends, I have a viewer, Padma, who reached out, and she had given me a Dot Goose design bag a little while ago. And then she reached out and asked if I liked needle minders, and that she had a couple coming. So these are the ones that she sent me, and I was so excited. And you, again, if you've been with me for any length of time, you know that I love Halloween. And so there's those 3 cute. I mean, come on, this candy corn, and the sugar skull, oh, so cute, so cute. And then this one here, this black cat. Now this is a wooden needle minder. Yeah, wood. But what I love is the back, the the magnet for the back, and I do this on my own needle minders that I make, and to put that on there because for me, I have longer nails, and so it's kind of nice to be able to have something a little bit more substantial to grab onto with either my fingers or if I'm using my nails. And so having a little extra something on the back of the needle minder, it's just awesome. And then because you guys all know, and I talk about my plants all the time, and I didn't even do a plant update, you guys, but I talk about my plants all the time. And so she found these cute plant needle minders. I love it. So this one, the Monstera, and then this one in here says Crazy Plant Lady. It's true. I am maybe just a little bit of a crazy plant lady. So a huge thank you to Padma. It's so, getting stitchy mail is just so fun. So big thank you. All right, so let's do haul, and then I'm gonna talk about some plans. So I had talked about this last time. Victorian Motto Victorian Motto Shop has an Etsy store, and I will link that down below. But I used to be in the Floss of the Month, and then it just wasn't coming, and so I stopped the Floss of the Month, and then I found out that she had an Etsy shop, and the Floss of the Month is on the Etsy shop. So I went on and I got July's Floss of the Month, all those beautiful, beautiful colors. And then I also got August's Floss of the Month Club. Now, she's got two different editions, basically, of the Floss of the Month. You can either get, is it 6 skeins or 12 skeins? And there wasn't an option in the August one to get 6 skeins, so I got 12. And so there's a bunch of, super yummy floss goodness. And then she had an eerie and spooky Halloween bunch of flosses. And so y'all know how much I love me some Halloween. And so this one has 7 skeins of floss. And they are all such pretty, yummy goodness colors. I mean, this green, come on. Oh, such a perfect green. And this orange for pumpkins, I mean, this one's called Bride of Frankenstein, and that orange one is called Halloween Haunting Moon. Now, to my knowledge, she does not sell them individually. I think you have to buy them in packs. I could be wrong. I don't know, but not on her Etsy shop. They're not listed separately. So I did pick those up, and then I got my Floss and Fabric of the Month from Color and Cotton. So here are the flosses of the month, and this one is called Merlot, and then we have the middle one is Spiced Cider, and the green one is Castle Garden. Super pretty. And then the fabric is, I get a 16 count Aida, and it is in the color Oatmeal. Again, a perfect sampler color, which is really what most of my neutrals, why I pick the neutral fabrics. Then I went to my mailbox yesterday, and my Be Stitch Me fabric had come for August. And so the fabric for August, I get an 18 count in the Be Stitch Me. And oh my goodness, this one's called Bedrock. It is a perfect, and I do mean perfect, Halloween piece. And so I actually have a Halloween piece that I believe is going to look fantastic on that. And then I am also in her Floss of the Month Club, and these beauties. I mean, her floss, oh, it is so nice. It is just so nice. I'm gonna put them on a board here. Look at those beautiful colors. They're just absolutely stunning. So here, let me tell you what the colors are. This one is Old Lace. This one is Garden Party. Look at the variegation in that, in the colors. That's so pretty. This one is called Clover. This one is Peaches. And then this one is called Moonshine. Moonshine as in the moon or as in the liquor? I haven't seen any moonshine that looks like that. Oh, goodness. So that was, I love going to my mailbox and seeing those pretties show up. Then my friend Denise over there at Goose Design on Etsy, she is one of my favorite bag makers, project bag makers, as well as being a very lovely person. She is lovely. She had posted this on, they have a Facebook page, Java Girl Design. Is it Java Girl Design only? I don't remember. I'll try and remember to link that below. But anyways, it's a Facebook group that both Christy and Denise, admin, put together. And she had said that she was putting this bag out for the Facebook group. And so I saw the post and I thought I missed it. And then she had an Instagram story, I think, or something, and said that these bags were in her Etsy shop. And I was like, thank goodness, I did not miss it. So it is this bag here. Is that not, like, seriously the coolest? This is an I Dream of Jeannie. Come on. Come on. It just reminds me of I Dream of Jeannie. Bewitched. Bewitched. Not I Dream of Jeannie. Okay, I did not watch TV when I was younger. We had very small TVs in my house, and really most of the time we were able to watch Disney shows, if anything, Little House on the Prairie, or hockey. We got really excited when we were allowed to watch Kit. Remember the David, what was his name? Dang it. You know, the Kit car. We watched that when we were younger, but for the most part, we did not watch a whole lot of TV. And so I did not know about all of these shows until I started babysitting. And then those people had TVs and cable. We did not have cable either. So bewitched, right? That's what this bag reminds me of, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I think she calls it Wanda and Boo, I think. But how pretty is this? Such a pretty, pretty bag. And then Denise, she's so awesome. She loves me, and she included a pal as well. So, and her pals are just awesome. I love them, and I love that it coordinates with the bag. So, and you know that a Halloween, something's going in that bag. So that came, and then. So this is kind of going to lead into my sampler September, but I think in my last video, I had talked about a Facebook group that I belong to. I forget the name of it now. If I can remember, I also will link that below. And if I don't link something, please reach out and ask. I sometimes forget. And I do play my videos back and try and write down, but I do everything on my phone, and so I have to go back and find the links and put them in, and it takes me a bit of time. So sometimes, and I get distracted easily. So please just reach out and say, hey, I don't see this link, or could you add the link, or tell me where it is, and I will make every effort to get that done. Anywho. On this Facebook group, there's the opportunity to be able to pre-order charts or purchase charts that designers do exclusively for this group through shops. And so that first one that I did was the Tomato by Hands On Design that Kathy Hopperman did. That was the very first one I got from that group. The second one was the Mary Ann Aldrid Sampler by Needlework Press. Let me pull it out. So Needlework Press made this chart for the shepherd's needle. The shepherd's needle. And but you have to order through the group. So they provide a link. It does go to the shop, but all questions, whatever, goes through the group, not the shop. But the shop puts everything together. You pay the shop, and then they send it out. And so it was a whole kit. And so not only did you get the sampler, but I requested Ada. So this is an 18 count vintage country mocha. It comes with a bow and needle, and the fabric is cut and serged, and for a 3-inch allowance, which is lovely because that's exactly what I do. So I love that. It also comes with all of the classic Colorworks flosses. How beautiful are these? See all these? There's a pink, kind of a dusty pink in here. Oh my goodness, they're so pretty. But all of the flosses were included, as well as, it's a kit. It included everything that you needed. And then there was this absolutely gorgeous floss drop keeper. Oh my gosh, what do we call it? And it's got the picture of the sampler, and then the little stork scissors. So that was also included in the kit. Super lovely. And you know, they're not cheap, but it's okay because it's the whole kit. I don't have to think, oh my gosh, what kind of fabric am I going to need? I don't need to hunt down flosses. And then you get, you know, some little extras like the floss drop and stuff. But what I'm going to do is September is Sampler September. And seeing as I have everything for this, I'm going to start this one. And so it is 2/1 for the 18 count Ada. And then there's a part here, this part here, that is 1/1, but there's a conversion in here for 2/1 for you to, yeah, there's the conversion so that there is no 1/1 when you're working on Ada. So I'm going to do that for my sampler September. And then I have some other stuff I'll talk about for Sampler September in just a second. But I did buy something else, and I am 100% fully blaming Brenda and the Serial Starter, aka Laura. I gotta stop watching them, because every time I watch them, I write notes or stop and go and buy whatever it is that they're talking about. I need to stop watching them. But Brenda had talked about these absolutely adorable pumpkins and candy corn felt pieces that she had bought from the Felt Pod on Etsy. I again will link that below. And so they were so stinking cute, you guys. They're so stinking cute that I had to go on and get my own. And sorry for the rustling. Sorry. But I didn't just stop at the pumpkins and the candy corn. Okay, look at those. Come on. And the pumpkins. I have since ordered more because they're cute. I wanted them in some different colors. But when I ordered, this was all they had. And then I saw these strawberries. Come on. They're so cute. And they're so well made. Like, yeah. I could not. But then, again, back to my Halloween. You all know my love of Halloween. I found these little ghosties and eyeballs. I got green eyeballs. There's green and blue. They didn't have any of the blue ones in stock. And then these spiderweb balls. I mean, yeah. So I need to stop watching Brenda and the Cereal Starter. They're costing me money. It's all good. It's all good. And you know, supporting small shops, awesome. Okay, then I also, my last bit of haul, I went thrifting and I found a couple more frames I was super excited about at one of the stores. But I also found a pink depression glass compote, you know, that you can put your stitching in. And so I have a bunch of milk glass ones, but I was super excited when I found the pink one. And I don't love pink, which is the most funniest thing ever, but I do have a couple of pink pieces, and I just, there's a couple of pieces that I think, like especially Blackbird Designs, that I think would look beautiful in that. So it is uber filthy and needs to get a very good bath. But it was so, I mean, $5. Come on. Even back in the day when I was doing antique sales with my mom, and you know, that we would go to a bunch of the antique fairs and things like that, they weren't even $5. No, they were like $12, $15. Yeah. So when I find them in a thrift store for $5, yep. Anyway, okay. So plans. Let's talk plans. Okay. Did you guys watch Liz from Liz Matthews and Kathy Barrick, their latest Flosstube? If not, you can stop me, go watch them. Well, no, don't. I mean, you can watch them after. Anyways, oh my goodness. They were talking about their releases for Needlework Expo that happened this weekend, Friday through Sunday. And I gotta tell you, everything that Kathy showed, I want. Absolutely. Like there's some beautiful designs that were released, but I have been going through my stash and I've decided I can't buy any more things. Like, unless, you know, it's an exclusive and you know it's not going to come out. But for the most part, these things are still going to be around, right? So, I gotta calm down. I have more stuff than I am ever gonna be able to stitch in my entire lifetime, the next lifetime, and probably the lifetime after that. And so, yeah. But when Kathy showed her designs, and Liz has got some beautiful designs as well. Like, she's got a Halloween one that I'm like, oh, come on. But Kathy's, I think I'm gonna have to get them. Yeah. But what I absolutely loved is that Kathy has a dog named Bella, and Bella was snoring through the video just like Odin does, and so I was dying laughing because yeah, that was pretty funny. Let me see here. Okay, so yeah, let me talk about my plans, and let me get the plans. So I have, seeing as Sampler September is coming up, and also fall stitching. Now I stitch whatever, whenever. Like, I don't care if it's the hottest day of, you know, summer. I might be working on a Christmas piece or a fall piece or a summer piece. Who the heck knows? Like, I just, whatever strikes my fancy is what I stitch. But now that I have finished one focus piece, I have a new focus piece. And that is going to be Cinnamon Stars. Now, Cinnamon Stars is one that I started with Kippy from the Academic Stitcher. She had a sal last year, and it was supposed to be done like I think November of last year. That's what this one looks like, Cinnamon Stars from Plum Street Samplers. And I did not get it done during the stitch along, of course. And it is actually on my WIP go to get done. But this is where I am on this one. So this one is going to get pulled out for September as my focus piece, and I want to get it done. And when we were at the Stitchy meetup, I had talked about, you know, I'm doing mine in the DMC colors. It was done in Fancy Flosses, but I chose not to do the Fancy Floss. And I'm kind of regretting that decision, especially in the house, because my house has absolutely no variegation whatsoever in it. And I almost want to pick it out and use the Fancy Floss just for the house, because I think that it gives it that just little bit of definition that houses need. So, yeah, I'm debating. But the rest of it, I am totally okay using the DMC flosses because they're such small little bits of the motif that the variegation doesn't even really come through. And so I'm totally okay with it. But in this big part of the house, I think I'm ripping that out. Yeah. I think actually I am going to rip it out. That's going to be my project today, is to rip that out and find the Fancy Floss and do that. Sad because I got a good portion of that house done, but it's okay. It's a focus piece and I'm working on it until I get it done. Like it is, that's my focus piece for every evening. That's what I do with my focus pieces. Then Molly from Molly Sensible Stitcher, or is it The Sensible Stitcher? I'll link her below. I love her. I love her channel. She also is another one who, oh my goodness, the enabling from her channel is incredible. She did Whip Parade not too long ago, and she showed all of her whips that she had started like a year ago. I think she got back into stitching like a year ago, maybe a little bit more than that. They are so, I have a wish list. And again, I told you I have to calm down. But anyways, she's got a lot of patterns that have birds in them. And so she thought that she would like do a Instagram, work on bird patterns on Fridays. And so I believe in the video she called out Kim, the Contented Stitcher. Again, if you're not watching Kim, you should. Her channel, the eye candy behind her, and she's just so lovely. She's so calm and she's just lovely. And her love of stitching is just, I mean, it shows through. Anyway, the two of them talked and they decided that putting together an Instagram hashtag Feathered Friday Sal. I'll link it below. Feathered Friday Sal, I believe it what is. So every Friday working on a pattern that has a bird in it. And so I'm going to jump on that train and I am going to finish up the Light Upon the Lawn. And this is the piece that I was doing in memory of my grandma, and it's getting almost done. So every Friday I am going to dedicate some time in this piece and get it finished. There's not that much left to do, honestly. I have a house to fill in, and I have some flowers to do here, the initial of my grandma, and to fill in, oh, I have the bottom, this whole bottom piece that has the vase with the flowers going up. Oh, I should have taken this flower for the Remember Me. It's all good. Oh, goodness sakes. Looking at your chart's good. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do for that on Fridays. So there is a hashtag, and Kim has been posting all kinds of goodie photos on there. So, and her progress. So go check that out. And I'm super happy to see that. And then starting September 1st, Mary Ashcraft, also the same Flosstube channel, and Memphis Sarah, also, I think her Instagram name is the same, and Flosstube. They are starting September 1st this Mirabilia kit, and it's called Thanksgiving Harvest Fairy. And so when Sarah showed this in her video, I had to go find it. I got super lucky because this is a hard to find chart, not because I don't think it's out of print, but just because getting the materials has been difficult through COVID. And and I could be wrong, maybe it is out of print now, I don't know, but I do know that I got a copy. And so they're starting this one September 1st, and I'm jumping in with them as well. Now mine did come with linen, and I don't use linen, so today my project is to go through my stash of Aida and decide which Aida I want to use for this pattern. So that's my September 1st start. And then for the rest of September, the next couple of, I think for the month of September, I'm going to work on some of these charts. Now, I had started this one. This is Mary Agenon 1888, and it is a pattern by Roland Design that I got off of Etsy. This one here. And I had started it during one of my Stitch With Me's, so it's been a while, and I have not done anything on it for quite some time because Odin got the spool of sulky thread and ate it. I mean, he didn't eat it, but he slobbered all over it and his teeth got into the fibers, and so I can't use it. And so, I mean, it's not like I didn't have sulkies. I buy them in the set, like this, the set. And so there's 2 of each color spool in here. There's 3 colors, 2 of each. And could I have pulled out the other one? Yes, I could have. But me being me, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have the thread. I'm going to have to buy more because, you know, once I use that spool, I won't have any more. And so for whatever thing in my head, I had to wait and whatever. Anyways, this is what I've gotten done so far on this one. And so I'm going to work on this for September. Yeah, I love this one. So that's what I'm going to work on September. Then I'm kind of doing a twofer because this was called for my September Whip Go piece, but it also is a sampler that I wanted to get started. So I'm going to twofer this one. And this is the Anne Morrison 1830. And I believe that this was an exclusive chart from Traditional Stitches. I think that this was the one. And so I've got some fabric and all my flosses. So that one is going to make an appearance, not only for Whip Go, but also for Sampler September. Then I pulled out a Kathy Barrick. I had started this one as well. And I want to work on this one. This one is 1848 Reproduction Sampler. And so these 2 little girls. And I had actually done quite a bit on this one. And I might be able to get that finished in September, depending on how much time I have to work. So that will be that will be fun. With my granddaughter going back to school, and I am not doing homeschool or remote learning anymore with her, I'm going back to work more hours. Probably not extremely full time because I still have to take her and pick her up from school. And but I will have less time to stitch than I had already, because I kind of stitched during the day when I was with her. So we'll see how much I get done. And then I also pulled out for Sampler September, Promised Lamb by Plum Street Samplers. Love this pattern. And this again was one that I started during my Stitch With Me's. Stitch With Me's are coming back, you guys. I kind of took a hiatus in the summer because it's such nice weather that I'm out in the garden and, you know, trying to fix up the yard and that kind of stuff. And so on Sundays, and so, but I'm going to come back to doing those. That's what I got done on that one, and I'm going to continue with that one. I absolutely love this pattern. I mean, I love all Plum Street Sampler patterns, honestly. So that one's going to get done. Then I looked at some of my Etsy purchases that I have made, and I have decided, honestly, I apparently really like to support shops and buy things that I have never doing. So that's also got to stop. So I bought this one from I think this was a little gem from Hands Across the Sea Samplers, and this one is called Lily Thurza Edwards 1887. So I'm going to do this one for Sampler September. I think that's just absolutely beautiful. And then I have a design from Whilst Iris Naps Designs called Ada Bilson 1863. And this is an English reproduction sampler. And this was a purchase, a PDF as well from her website. And that is super, super beautiful. So I love the little sentiment in there, and the alphabets, just, I mean, the colors, just beautiful. And so I would like to get that out. And then the last thing, this is not for, well, it's fall stitching, but I had purchased this last year from, who are they? Stitching with the Housewives, and it's this cute little turkey in a cup, and it says gobble. And I love that. I think that it is super adorbs, and I think I'm going to pull this out for fall stitching. I love fall, but I don't have very many fall pieces, and so I think that I will get that done too. That is all for me, you guys. I'm just I've showed you my plans. I've done the giveaways. Showed you my stitching. We're all good. So I hope you all have a really wonderful 2 weeks. This September is going to be fairly busy with getting my son back home and doing some cleaning here to make that happen. And yeah, so and the little is starting school. Yay! So please stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy your stitching, and until the next time, see you then.